and welcome to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Now, last week we talked about madharau ya Kenya to Kenyan musicians when an international act is around. That's a fact. Akodhe wa Uganda akikuja Kenya tutamtreat kama Nicki Minaj. Mnajua oktopizo wetu. Tell you what, this is the oktopizo of South Africa.
What you do? Watch me, 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 nene. That's
how low our exchange rate is. Now, after that show, I got feedback from a guy in Munich, Germany, big fan of the show. He said his name is God Prosper. Such a long name, so let's call him GDP. Mr. GDP added an opinion to that reason we gave, that the reason we glorify artists from other countries can be explained by the culture ya kupikia wageni kuku wakikuja alafu unalea watoto na managu. Kama hawa wageni hawako, hiyo kuku na hawa watoto wanakuanga equal. Wote wanakula serious. Now, it's also the same way I know you're asking yourself why you've been giving us feedback on this show. Every day, na hujawahi jisikia kwa show. Lakini sasa mnasikia comment ya Germany. Wasa hiyo ni comment ya kukam. Hata nyinyi mna understand. Anyway, shout out to all of you guys. Now, on the same show last week, we ruled out talking about hate speech until I read an article in the Daily Nation where Moses Kuria is said to have denied hate speech charges and pleaded with the magistrate to release him on a free bond, saying that he had just come from a grueling campaign and spent a large sum of money. So basically, mheshimiwa anasema wangemshika kabla ya campaign. Wangemshika tu kabla ya yani campaign na hiyo fine zilipitana hivi. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? That's like getting arrested by NTSA for overspeeding, and the best excuse you can come up with to avoid the fine, yeah. Afisa si ati hiyo 1500 sina, kuna kajam kalilipata hapa Wayaki we nikakula njugu. Sasa niko na 4995, sitaki kukudharau na pesa nusu. Alafu hiyo jam ni wenzako walikuwa wamefunga barabara. Ama better yet, landlord anakujia rent kwa nyumba yako alafu unaambia hii mwezi umetoka bure. Unajua jana nilikuwa na wageni nikawapikia nyama. Hata wewe ulisikia harufu. Si ndio? Yeah? Kama si yako kama hili unafikiria hata tungesupuana na wewe? Ama unafikiria nina kuenjoy? Sufuria sijui hata sijapaguza na ugali. See, what an excuse. Ama imagine ukipigwa ngeta alafu unajitetea kama Moses Kuria. Vijana hii ni saa ngapi mnaiba? Lack of professionalism and market research. Unafikiria mwanaume utapata mwanaume na pesa kabla ya baada ya saa 6 usiku? Shame on you. Mimi nilikuwa na pesa, si ati sikuwa nao, lakini nilikunywa supu. Nipeleke mahali mtanipeleka. Gaza kitu gani? Now, maybe that's why I place kama kawele watu pigwa ngeta by 6. Now, through his lawyer Cliff Ombeta, Moses Kuria argued that he was clean since previous similar charges against him had been dismissed. So basically, according to Mheshimiwa, 2 wrongs can make a right. If your spouse caught you cheating, how does that sound? How good does it sound as an excuse? Honey, surely. You caught me cheating last time, ukanisamehea. I have cheated again, sikatai, but I have cheated with the same person. Bona tusitumie ile msamaha ya last time. How does that work? Try that and you'll give us feedback. Now, this is not the first time for Moses Kuria to be arrested na Mudhama for what they said. We cannot repeat what Moses Kuria said because it's too conk. We can be accused of secondary hate speech. His lawyer actually said that Moses Kuria was a man of good behavior and has no pending criminal cases. Of course, that I can't disagree with. Moses Kuria is a man of good behavior. He has only been accused of the same crime. Keyword here is same crime 87 times. Furthermore, Moses Kuria mse unajua, ako na tabia mbaya moja tu, matusi. That's a predictable Kenyan. As for Mudhama, he was arrested for inviting the president and the deputy president for a physical fight at Uhuru Park. Huyu ni ule Mudhama mmoja alifanywa vibaya Senate. Ile time ya vita. This, I believe, would have been the best response Mudhama could get. Mtukufu rais, wachana na hawa watu, mimi nitadeal na wao. I believe that's what Mudhama wanted. Alafu ambiwe sasa kuja Uhuru Park. Now, see, in court, Mudhama was represented by a team of 13 lawyers. Jesus himself only needed 12 people. as disciples to spread the gospel to the whole world. What is Muthama's message? 13 lawyers. How do 13 lawyers even work? Malawyer, Malawyer. How do they even work? See, and then this is what I found even more interesting. He pleaded with the court to release him on a reasonable cash bail of 50,000 shillings. Yet, he could afford 13 lawyers, 3 of whom are MPs. Think about that. And this being the second time the two leaders have been arrested for the same offense, Moses Kuria explained that the police failed to treat him with dignity. Dignity, really. I believe Kenyan police have grown to have some dignity to some extent. Did you see how the Ugandan Lord Mayor was arrested?
I was really shocked to find these people sailing off my home. They had not explained anything to me. They had put barricades along the way. They brought several patrol vehicles, as you see them here. As my kids were being taken to school, they were subjected to horrendous... Officers, I've committed an offense. Please.
What happened to the base? What happened to the base? The funniest bit people have been talking about is how that guy switched personality from bass to soprano. Like, I have come out and found this guy surrounding my house, and I don't know who. Officers, please! Officers, please, I have committed no offense. I think sauti yake ilichange hapo mali suti ilirarukia. Moral of the story, suti ni sauti. Now, in the Kenyan context, what he said could not warrant for such treatment. Things Akina Moses Kuria and Muthama have said are way worse. But I think I have an idea why they cannot be arrested like that. The deputy president himself, while campaigning for Moses Kuria in Gatundu South, once technically endorsed Moses Kuria's utterances.
Mimi namuombea Moses Kuria. Huyu Moses Kuria. Na mimi niko na sababu. Unajua pale tunafanya kazi, rais na mimi na serikali, tuko na watu wanatupigia makelele. Si mnajua hawa? Sasa huyu Moses Kuria anajua kujibu hiyo watu. Sasa huyu akuje huko ajibiane na hawa watu, ndio rais apate nafasi ya kufanya kazi na mimi. Tunahitaji watu ya kujibu hawa na kuambia hawa wawache hiyo makelele.
Another point of two wrongs don't make a right, because Muthama also looks like another weapon to counter Moses Kuria. Mulifanya, sasa hata sisi tunafanya. Surely. Now, there is also a legal issue and the problem of defining hate speech, because people are confused between defining hate speech as insults or incitement to violence. And then again, insults are in most cases not what you say, but how you say it. For example, nyanyako. That means your grandmother. But when you say nyanyako, that's not even your relative. No relations. There is also something about language. An insult in Swahili could be a word of praise in English. For example, malenge wewe. But do you know that the English translation of the same word could keep your relation going for the longest time? My pumpkin. Ni malenge tu, but try that on your spouse and see what happens. Washirika wanzagu, hiki ndio kile kimalenge niwaambia ninalea. Si unaona vile koko kimekuwa kikubwa? Try that. Try that and see how that goes. It's also very difficult to convict someone of hate speech because there's a very thin line between hate speech and free speech. Now, I spoke to our guest on the show tonight, Reverend Timothy Njoya, while discussing this subject with him earlier, and he gave me a very good point and a very good angle to this. He said that the utterances of Akina Moses Kuria, that Akina Moses Kuria and Muthama make, appeal to a certain mindset of people who enjoy that kind of talk. So the problem could not be the Moses Kurias and the Muthamas of this world. It's the people who clap for them and cheer for them when they say what they say. And I dug further. President Obama nearly broke the internet. He actually broke the internet when he asked for $400,000 to give a speech. Back home, Akina Muthama and Kuria are equally spending hundreds of thousands for speeches they make in fines. Makes me wonder. The way people like Obama quote great leaders in their speeches, like in the words of Abraham Lincoln, you can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all of the time. I can imagine a Kenyan leader in 2075 trying to quote the present-day leaders. Now, in the words of Moses Kuria, the former Gatondo MP, freedom is... Thank you and God bless Kenya. See you after this short break. Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori, and the subject of our show tonight is hate speech, and our guest is none other than Reverend Timothy Njoya. I'm so tempted to call you Bishop.
Why? In my church, we are equal. We don't have bishops. Everybody in my church is a pope and is a bishop and is a lay person. We are all equal.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Karibu kwa show. I don't know, can I be curious before we start about this?
This one?
Yes. The tie without the long part.
Oh, you see, even lawyers wear bands like us. This was the dress in the Geneva University where education for law, law theology, and philosophy one subject called rhetoric. These were classroom gowns. They were uniforms long ago. Which year was that? In the 15th, 16th century, 17th century. Even today, there are some universities which are like that.
I thought you were there. I thought. Now, the subject of our show tonight is hate speech.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Kenyans hate each other?
They don't. Actually, they don't.
Okay.
They may try to annoy each other, or exclude each other, or call each other's names insult.
Yes.
But actually, when a bigger man, bigger than you, calls you names, that is intimidation.
Okay.
If a person who is lower than you calls you a name, that is insult. It's annoyance.
No,
That's
application for war.
Okay. All right. I will say that what you call hate speech ranges from immorality. You call somebody a name, like you said Mama Yako the other here. You mean to insult.
Yes.
You are calling that someone because first of all you demean women, then you consign a man to being a demeaned woman. If you called him Baba Yako, he wouldn't be annoyed because Baba isn't very bad. But what I mean now in his speech is that you are either inciting or you are terrorizing, for instance, or you are trying to intimidate or even to exclude. But when you talk about hate speech from a politician, and I think politician in Kenya is another word for a terrorist. You get me? You know, there's no difference between, even though you don't call them terrorists, and because they don't carry explosives, they carry the youth to fight. They use the young people who have no job.
Explosives like your pesos here, Mama Yako.
Okay. Of course, you can say that when a politician uses derogatory words or anything else, the next day you could be beaten by his sycophants. So that even though we are not calling terrorists and carrying bombs, he is actually carrying explosives.
How many times have you been arrested for what you have said?
6 times.
6 times?
Yes.
How could she get adabu the first time?
I've been arrested. The first time was in Nyeri. I was the policeman, the OSPD of the Central Province sent the Kilimani police station to come and arrest me at Jamhuri because of what I had preached at Tumutumu.
What did you say?
They thought I called Moi a pig.
But Boniface Mwangi does that all the time. Actually,
no. For me, I don't call him a pig. I had a crusade, and in which I said, people who the prodigal son went and behaved like a pig by eating with the pigs. You understand?
Oh, so you call a second-hand pig, like he was a pig through the prodigal son. So subliminal message.
I was to be someone to understand, to be asked why I called the president a pig. Then they arrested me. Kiraito, my lawyer, followed me to, you can read in his book, The Mad World of Politics.
The Mad World of Politics.
Yeah, Kenya Aito's book. Yes. So I was taken to the police station, followed by my lawyer. When I to the DC's office, boardroom. As I was entering, Kiraito was held by 2 huge men. He was done like that, and thrown into the garden. He was thrown into the. He was thrown into the flower garden.
He wasn't fat back then, like he was.
He ate the garden.
when they threw Kiraito in the flower bed?
Yes,
Did he continue?
He has written it in the
there
book. In
until
his book.
the police came and told me, "Sasa amka uende ama hiu."
he had a free public rally. People came to hear. He was telling people why I'm being arrested.
Oh, Governor Wameru ametoka mbali from a flower bed to a governor. That's powerful stuff.
Yes, he was running a flower bed, not peacefully.
But
and it was not like being put here. What they did is that they removed him from getting inside because they were told they lifted him.
The hands.
I think two feet, the feet, and they took the shoulders.
Yes, and then they swing him.
No, they swing him enough.
Yes.
To
throw him. Moment, he was suspended in the air.
In the air.
Songa mpaka kwa flower bed.
No, let me put it this way. Yes. I saw him being thrown.
Yes.
The way he was.
Ulimwona akiwa kwa hewa.
Yeah. The way he was thrown is across the. You see, in every house, before you go to the door, there is a flower bed. And there is a path where people go around the houses. So he was thrown over that.
They aimed at the flowers.
Yeah, at the flower bed.
And he landed on the flowers.
On his back. Yeah. Yeah, and he hit, boom. The next time I was arrested in Nakuru, Moro. Moi said, one evening, he said in the TV, I could see the TV.
Yes.
He said, Moro is a security zone. Nobody should go there. In the morning, I woke up at 4 or 5. Called my friend Bidan Bogwa, called Matiba's driver.
Matiba?
Yeah.
Matiba
he had a BMW.
Kenneth Matiba.
Kenneth Matiba's BMW.
Yes.
I don't know. We don't know where it went. Anyway.
You know that's...
I went to Moro, Joro. So vehicles came, these military vehicles, with the hammers, with the carnivals, driven backward. They wanted me to arrest me to go back without having to turn the vehicles.
Oh.
So I was lifted like a paper, thrown into the thrown like into the vehicle. By the time where I reached,
I was because it makes I
was thrown that way. One vehicle. Over the vehicle, over the other one, until I reached where the PPIO was. Koriru, I know him, Koriru.
Wait. Several vehicles are arranged.
They are arranged, but you are thrown, but you go over them and you fight, you are waited and you are thrown.
Police officers who are waiting for you to check in, then they can
to throw you
to another car, then they catch you.
They catch you, they throw you.
That was fun.
So...
That was your second arrest. What has changed from back then to now? We've seen people say all manner of things about the president, about other politicians, and they never get arrested.
I said that we have changed the modus operandi, but the same substance. We are the best in the world as far as institutions are concerned. I don't think many countries in the world, I don't think any country in the world has as many commissions and institutions to do this, anti-corruption, anti-do this, and the AIBC. Again, we have the best constitution in the world, but we have the worst people in the government. Because they're same. I said the modus, the theory, the psychology. We changed the philosophy of the country, but we didn't change the personalities.
I asked you a question when we started, whether Kenyans hate each other, and you said no.
No.
Yes, thank you. And the divisions actually on social media, in line with the subject of our show tonight, is people attacking each other based on the language they speak.
You see, the problem is this. When we are fighting vote mongering, when we are fighting for votes. For instance, let me tell you one thing. In the 1987, an MP, by being elected, if you counted the average vote in Kenya, if a person got all the votes in a constituency, those votes, the time he is going to stay in parliament, 5 years, is it?
Yes.
Those votes amounted to 333,000 shillings per voter.
And what does it take? What does it take for the general public to know that either both Jubilee and NASA are trading with them? So
they know that.
They know that.
The people know that because, for instance, let me say, I don't blame the people. I love people. I don't know how. I don't even breathe oxygen. I breathe people. Now. That's my energy. You see what happens? We are impoverished by these people for a purpose to be traded with.
Does that mean?
Kevera, Madare, all these Kawagware, all these exist for a purpose. They are like computer making companies. These poor people are billions. They are worth billions.
The real vifaranga via computer is Kibera and Madare.
Yeah. You see, the poor in Kenya are not poor. They are impoverished. You understand me?
Just say the same thing you have said. The poorer you are.
Yeah, the Kenya, the more precious, the more valuable you are.
Yes, on this camera.
Yeah. Yes, people in Kenya are not poor. There's no poor person in Kenya. All Kenyans who are poor because they are impoverished. Deliberately impoverished because the poorer you are, the more valuable you are as a vote. And the more you are guaranteed to vote for someone when you are poor. And for such reason, he will make billions out of your poverty.
Thank you. That's a classic message for our show. And you guys can go get the book by Reverend Timothy Njoya here. It's called We the People. And our show cuts across all ages, all generations. So I think so that people can we have people who are called slay queens. We have a group of people called slay queens. So the slay queens can get the book. You can call it the Book of Timothy. Reverend Timo. Yes, by a book by Reverend Timo. It's called We the People. Very special message. And one thing, I'm actually going to get this book myself so that I can see where Kiraito was in the atmosphere before the landing. I'm told he did a very graphic explanation. Now, that's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.